Oh, wow. That was a good workout. Just came out of the gym. I want to do a quick video for you today. I want to talk about the few negatives of living in a small town here in Greece. Someone who has been living here in Greece for the last 14 years, I'm going for 15 years actually. I want to share my journey and how can I help you, give you a little bit of insights into what is it like to live in a small town in a foreign country, and in this case, here in Greece. If you're new to the channel, I live in a small community. I live in Nafplio, Greece. And this is a small town. This is like 15,000 people. And I want to share a little bit about my experience here with you guys. So, number one, there's not much to do, okay, in a small town. If you're someone who likes museums, you like theater, you like the buzz of a city, obviously you're not going to find it in a small town. That being said, we have the Epidavros theater, which you have to come and check it out next time you're in town or next time you're around the area. Man, that's a next level theater experience. As someone who lived in London and I was around the West End, I used to work and live around the West End, and theater is a big thing in major cities. Yes, of course, not only in London, but as well here in Athens, in the capital of Greece. But man, if you've never been to Epidavros, to the open theater in the summer, you're missing out. But anyways, there's not much stuff going on, okay? Now, as someone who has lived in major capital cities, I can tell you that this is one of the things why I love to live here, because I only have one movie theater, okay, which by the way is run by, by a group of people, okay? It's a family-run business type of thing, okay? You get to meet the people, all right? It's just one movie theater. They have only one movie playing, one for adults, one for kids, and that's it. There's not 25 different movie theaters or movie things to choose from. It's just one. And if you missed it, then you're not going to see that movie, okay? Unless you go to Athens. I like it like this. I like to have very few selections of things to watch. And I like to have just a few things to see, all right? And I'm all right with that. But a lot of people have a problem with that. A lot of people find this like, how the hell do you live in such a small town when there's nothing going on? I can't go to the movies. I can't go to the theaters. I can't go to, whatever, to the mall, God forbid. There's no mall around here, by the way. There's no mall. There's no Starbucks, okay? So that's going to be a big shocker for you if you're expecting to have your chai tea latte or whatever. But anyways, there's no McDonald's either here where I live. So there's not much going on when it comes down to this type of things, which a lot of people have problems with. I'm all right with it. I love it. It's one of the reasons why I live here, by the way. But that's one of the things that have been brought to my attention from different people, from all walks of life, by the way. Like, oh, I can't believe you live here. Even some Greeks, some Athenians might mention this and say, like, I can't believe you live in Eparchia. God forbid. What are you doing there? There's nothing, right? But, it's a free world. So, but this is one of the things that I love, okay? This might be like a negative thing that I'm mentioning here, but it might be a negative for some people. For me, it's actually a positive, all right? The next thing is, number two, the next thing is that everybody knows everybody. If it's a small community, everybody knows everybody. I was just in the gym and I was talking to a friend of mine that I have met because I live in a small community. He's a real estate agent when he comes to the gym. And, by the way, because I know people, I'm teaming up with a real estate agent. Okay, so I'm going to help you find your next property here in Greece. More things to come when it comes down to this. I shouldn't even be sharing this, but I can't control myself. I can't contain myself. And I'm just putting it out there. All right, so hit me up. Get in touch with me if you're looking for a real estate agent, because I am teaming up with someone who speaks English, by the way, okay? And is a real estate agent here in Greece. Anyways, more of that later on. But one of the things that has been brought to my attention by a lot of people when you live in a small community is that everybody knows everybody. And there is a negative side to that, of course. But I believe that we should know the community. We should know people that we live with. Okay, when I was living in London, for example, I had no idea who was my neighbor, all right? I had no idea who was my neighbor, who lived above me, who lived below me. I had no idea who lived in my neighborhood. Okay, here's the exact opposite. Everybody knows me. I know everybody. I come to the gym, I say hi to everybody. I walk down the street, I say hi to everybody, and I'm a foreigner. All right. Yes, I speak Greek. Yes, I am married to a Greek. Yes, I have many things under my belt that help me integrate into the Greek community. But hey, give me some credit. I try to be as charismatic as possible and as likable as possible as well. And yes, I do my best to infiltrate into the Greek community as well. All right. So I try my best and I get out of my way in order to integrate into the community and to get to know people, because I want people to know me and I want to know people. All right. And when you live in a small community, this is the key. All right. Because it's very easy to just live in a small community like this. If you're a foreigner, by the way, if you're someone who's looking to retire here in Greece and you don't speak the language and you just want to keep yourself to yourself, you're missing out big time. You're missing out in experiencing the whole Greek culture. I have spoken about this in endless videos. I'm not going to mention that again here, but I believe that knowing people is what's going to help you succeed in a small community, in a small town, like the way I live. A lot of people don't like that. They don't like that everybody knows everybody. But hey, I feel safe knowing that I can walk down the street and people know who I am. And if something happens to me, or if I see someone going through something, some hardship or something, you can help someone. You can help a member of the community, even if you don't know them. Like I have help, like, an old papu, a grandpa that needed help. I didn't know who this person was, but I can quite clearly see that he needs help, right? And I'm just saying that there's a sense of community. It's very, very tight. And I believe that, by helping each other in a small community goes a long way. It's so small that I have met this grandpa again. And he remembered me, he recognized me, and he's like, oh God, you helped me. I took him, I take him from point A to point B to the pharmacy because he needed help. And I can tell that he needed help. He was a very old man, and you get to know people, and he's telling me his story about his son that works as a fireman or whatever, and we get to know people, and if I need help from somebody, I know people here in the community, plumbers and real estate agents. I know people, and that's very, very important. If my kids are around town, okay, they know who they are. They can go somewhere and people know who that person is. That's very, very important. However, for a lot of people, there's a lot of negativity with that. And I have people here on the channel mention that. People from the area, by the way, they say like, I couldn't wait long enough to just disappear and move to Germany or whatever, and that's fair enough. I understand, because a lot of people, don't want to live in a small community and know that, okay, that person is dating that person and now that person is divorcing that other person. It's life, but I believe in community. I believe in the family unit. I'm very orthodox in that way. And I believe that it's something that's been lost, in this fast-paced, moving life that we live nowadays, right? Like everybody seems to be in a busy, moving forward. No pun intended. This channel is called Moving Forward. But everybody's like going after something, especially in the big cities, saying we don't care who our neighbors are. We don't care who's next to us. We don't care about anybody or anything, right? If anything, there's more division now more than ever, and we actually hate our neighbors. Here you have to love your neighbor. You have to learn to love your neighbors, and you better get along, right? But I think that's a good thing. I think that's a positive thing. Okay, which brings me to the next part, okay? Number 3, which is the slow pace of life, the cadence of life, the rhythm of life that we live here in a small town is of course something that turns off a lot of people. To me, this is beautiful. I want a slow pace of life, okay? A different rhythm of life. I don't want it to be that fast. I want it to be a little bit slower. As someone who lived in London and then relocated here to Greece, this is exactly what I need. Okay, and yeah, I don't like the Athenian lifestyle. No offense to my Athenian friends, I have plenty of them, but I don't like to live in Athens. I don't like that bus and that getting on the underground, on the tube or whatever, and getting on the bus or being stuck in traffic in a car to go somewhere. That's just not my lifestyle. I've lived that lifestyle, and I don't want it anymore. I don't like it. All right, here where I live, there's no tubes, there's no undergrounds. There is public transport. There's a bus, but this is, you just go walking. I mean, walking distance from places, and but we use the car here in Nashville. We're very lazy as well. We just go from point A to B with our car everywhere. Okay. By the way, fun fact: there's a lot of Athenians living here in Nashville where I live. A lot of Athenians have made the move from Athens and said, "Fuck that Athens life. It's way too busy. I'm going to Nashville." for a reason. All right. So there's a lot of people that live here in Nashville who are not from Nashville as well. So I don't feel that I am the outsider, even though I'm not Athenian. There's plenty of tourists here, or people from abroad, I should say. Plenty of pensioners, of course. But a lot of Athenians have moved here to Nashville and from the surrounding areas of the Argolida where I live, anyways, the area where I live. But that's it, man. I mean, these are very basic things that a lot of people get turned off by when living in a small town. To me, all of these things are a positive. Okay, for me, all of these things are very, very positive. All right. Anyways, guys, I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for the love and support. I better go home and have a shower. I stink, and that's the way it is. Rock and roll. I'll see you in another video, my friend.